Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. What's up? What's popping? Dumalang Lekai. So on yesterday's episode of Generations the Legacy, a lot happened and I'll be speaking on the storylines that intrigued me the most and also the characters. So I'll be starting with Mazwi. Yesterday, Mazwi got caught once again by Kunkani, aka Gaddafi, at the gym. So he was just, working out and minding his own business as usual, like nothing's happening. And Kunkani was like, do you know what? I'm gonna call this guy out. And like I said in my previous video, Kunkani is such an impulsive person. And when he has something towards a guy or girl, whoever it is, he cannot keep it inside. He has to vocalize what he thinks about this person. And that's what he did with Mazwi. He could not walk away before he gave him his own peace of mind, And that's what Kunkani ended up doing it. And to be honest, I'm glad he did. I'm so glad he called Mazwi for who he is, a piece of trash. He told Mazwi that Spare does not deserve you. She deserves better than you. And Mazwi has the audacity to get defensive and annoyed of what Kunkani said to him. Excuse you. What Kunkani is doing to you is telling you the truth. And the truth stained when you know it's the facts. It's what you're doing. You cannot face the facts, then stop what you're doing. Period. Gaddafi was like, okay, I know that I made the first move, right? But she refused to even go there with me because she has so much love and respect for you. But you couldn't do the same for her. Mazwi punches Gaddafi in the face. I'm thinking, wait a minute, why are you punching him? Is it because he just called you out and told you the truth? Gaddafi just was like, okay, fine, I'll give you that punch. But just know this, she does not deserve you. She deserves someone better than you. My guy literally launched at Gaddafi. Where is the common sense in that? After that scene, Mazwi went to Matsuriso to ask her if she told Gaddafi about him and Fikile. Are you that self-centered, self-absorbed to think about yourself but not Spare? Really? Matsuriso couldn't care less about what you're doing with Fikile. All she cares about is her own self and her own business that she's doing right now. And for you to think that she'll go to Kungani to tell Kungani what you're doing, where's the point in that? You're just being selfish and self-centered. That's what you're doing. So now that the heat is on him now, he's trying to calm down things and pretend like nothing is happening. So he went to Fikile to tell her that we need to cool things down until this whole situation gets out of hand, before it gets out of hand. So Mazwi comes up with a plan to make it seem like him and Fikile are no more by handing her to Mazwi as a client. But behind Spear's back, he's still playing around and making a fool out of her. So Mazwi tells Spear that Mazwi has given Fikile to her as a client, and she'll be no more working with Mazwi. She's happy, but do I think it's gonna work? No, it's not. Because knowing Mazwi, he's gonna like find a way to make a fool out of Spear regardless. Now moving to Jack Mabazo. Last time we saw him, he realized there was a mole in his ranks and he wanted to know who it was. So he set a trap for anyone who could use that false information that he gave around to see if anyone will, catch and use it against him. Now, Zita's little minion, the guy that Zita has been sleeping with, was obviously that rat that fell into that trap, and he went to Malinga, the detective, and told him the information that Jack falsified and just wanted to use it to catch the mole. And it worked. It worked. Now this guy is in trouble. He's now outed by Jack. So his lieutenant, Jack's lieutenant, his right-hand man, has been looking for the guy who ratted Jack out, and they managed to catch him. But before that, he went to Zita's apartment to tell Zita that everything is gone left now. Everything is a mess. He needs to leave the country because he does not want to be killed by Brajek. Well, Zita's just there sitting, with her little phone and a cup of tea and just posing for the camera like she couldn't care less. And my guy's literally panicking, like trying to figure out what he's gonna do next. He needs to leave the country before Jack actually catches him and interrogates him to find out how he spread his information and who he's working with. But on the other side of this whole mess, Gaddafi's working his own magic. He's hired a guy to follow his minion guy. Like he's covering his own back in a way, so that if this whole thing falls apart, he's covered. He's not going to be, flat-footed and just literally caught by off guard, really. And when he was trying to run away, the guy who worked for Zita, he got caught by the lieutenant of Jack Mabazo, and Gaddafi's guy who was following him was there and saw what happened. So he told Gaddafi that they have him and it's not looking good. So in the preview of Monday's episode, we saw that Zita's guy is now being tortured and questioned by Jack because he wants to know what he has been saying to his employee, which is Zita Langa. He wants to know all the details, and we shall see what happens with that, and if it's gonna either spill the beans or Gaddafi's guy will intervene in some way. I don't know, but we'll see on Monday. Moving on to Spare. So Spare is relatively happy with the ending of the contract of Fikile working with Mazwi, and my poor little girl she's hurting herself. That's it. She's struggling. She's trying to save a marriage that is completely not even worth it. I have some notes here with me, right, that I wrote about it. I said she thinks that her plan worked, but has no idea that that was all pretense. So Mazwi's pretending to play the good husband to keep up pretenses for Spare, while he's on the other hand planning a romantic getaway with Fikile to Mauritius. Really? Like, I am fuming for Spare right now, and I'm not actually Spare. I am pissed off, I'm annoyed, I'm angry, I'm all the things above. Just watching as a viewer, I'm thinking, if someone did that to me, what would I do? Like, I am annoyed, I am angry for her. And there was a preview of Monday's episode. Spare overheard Mazwi on the phone, like booking a hotel in Mauritius. I honestly think that she thinks that holiday is for her and Maz, but she has no clue that it's actually Fikile and Mazwi's getaway little party that they're gonna have in Mauritius. We'll see what happens, but I'm crossing my fingers and toes and hoping that Spade does not get let down once again, because that woman deserves better. That's it. She deserves the world and more. Like, that's how I feel about it. moving on to Matsiriso. I keep saying Matsirisi. Well, her and her husband are now over the honeymoon stage of their marriage, and she's making it her job to make sure that her honeymoon phase shouldn't dry out, because now she's realized that her husband is kind of like emotionally detaching from her, and she's starting to get worried a little bit, so she's doing all her best to keep her husband entertained and not lose the spark in the relationship. Because once they lose that, a high possibility that he's gonna start looking for someone else, like Mazwi has been doing. So Mazwi obviously is doing his own thing, and Machiriso is known to fall victim for that. So she's working hard on rekindling that honeymoon phase again and keeping the spark in the marriage, which I find really attractive and really nice for a wife to do that for the husband, even though when the husband is just clueless, it's usual. Next up is Nunja's character. Whew, this girl has been going through a lot. Her mom is back, obviously. I wrote some few notes here. It says she wants answers about her mom's secrets, right? She also wants to know why she's doing it, why she's hiding all those things from her, and she's also planning to snitch on her mom. She's still conflicted about it. She wants to tell the cops that her mom was actually the one who committed the crime and free her dad. But what she doesn't know is if she does that, it doesn't change the fact that her dad might stay in prison because he covered up the crime for the mother. So it will be making things worse. But I do understand where she's coming from in terms of her wanting to know the truth of what really happened, because she's caught in the middle. She's not a kid anymore. She understands what is going on. She needs to be told everything. I want her parent to be more transparent with her, because if she's not being honest with Nuntle will start looking for answers from someone else and will get the wrong information, and she will literally go to the cops and give the cops those information without having the clarity of the whole storyline. So I wanted to come down and go to her mom and ask her the truth, even though I feel like the mom has every right to protect her daughter, but I feel like she needs to be honest with her, because the last time that she was not honest with her, she got kidnapped. You see? So, yeah. Last is Gaddafi with Zita. So I also touched this on a little bit earlier. Gaddafi obviously had his suspicions, so he hired his guy to follow Zita's guy, and like I said earlier, he told Gaddafi that Zita's guy has been caught and Jack Mabazo is now in possession of the guy, and he's not asking him questions about who is his employee. I wrote here a little bit of notes. I said the guy that Zita used to get information from has been captured by Jack, and Braji, who's Gaddafi, made sure that he was followed, and in a way he's covering his butt, his ass. Like, he does not want to be caught flat-footed and literally everything falling apart, and then he gets caught himself. Like, he does not want to be in trouble. So he's covering all his bases and making sure that if this thing goes left, he's protected. And that's what Gaddafi does. He has backups to backups to backups of plans. And that's how you survive in this underground. When you're a criminal, you need to have backups to backups to backups of plans, because you never know when the other one will fall out. So yeah, that's it for today. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want. Thanks for watching. Peace.